So infinity is not enormous. It's not something enormous, as he says. And this is what we teach, because you are infinity. There is no infinity outside of you. Infinity is not something enormous like it seems to ordinary consciousness. The enormous still possesses material parameters, whereas infinity is stripped of them. Mathematically, it's much closer and more topologically akin to zero than to expanses defying imagination. The gigantism of the universe and the lostness in it of a grain of sand, a human, is a schizophrenic illusion of the 20th century. It does not reflect the true order of things, but only the sickly and fallen spirit of its creators. What exists in actuality, if we consider the viewpoint of the Indians with their Maya, of the early traditions of perennialism, which we highly emphasize in this course. The illusory nature of the material, I imagine, and my commercial experience confirms this, says Berezovsky, that in actuality there exists a dynamic system of interrelation between one's personality and the universe, a very flexible one that's calculated by taking into account the person's mental maturity. Of course, when we get into the level of personality, above the level of personality, when we go into my chart of levels of reality, of levels of being, which I discuss in a video, and perhaps I'll put the link in the description here. But when we go above that, there's not even this, because there's no relationality. The only relation is between the observer and the observed, the observer observing itself as the observed. But as we get into personality, and for fun and for the sake of the illusion, and for the sake of manipulating the illusion in this very special way, this marriage of the spiritual and the material, then it becomes as the relation between one personality and the universe, which, my friends, goes into my category of context, which I discuss on the levels of being. So I imagine the universe as an apparatus for illustrating our ideas of it. We enter Maya for a short period of time and exist here in the world we consider necessary to create for ourselves. It seems like a fairy tale, kingdom of dreams. But there lies a danger in our consciousness' ability to model both evil and hell on earth. It is vain to accuse the universe of this. It simply fulfills our orders. Now we're going into, basically, the principles of this course, that the universe fulfills our orders, that if we ask for something difficult, it will be difficult. If we think that it's difficult to make money, it will be difficult to make money. If we believe that success comes with ease, then it will come with ease. And he says we live in a world of faith and will. That's it. And will here, I believe he means focus by this, not force. He means focus. And that is the second principle, or that is rather the third principle that derives from these first two principles. So the first principle, which is in reality the only principle, is an understanding of the cosmos. The second derivative of that is sort of a lemma that because this is so, there's no causality on the outside. Therefore, everything is a placebo. Therefore, you can invest into that placebo anything that you wish and any causality that you wish. So you can derive any effect from any cause. When you get that deep into consciousness, you can indeed use any cause to derive any effect. This is the secret. Some would indeed call it magical, but it is indeed natural. It is based upon the law of consciousness. So we live in a world of faith and will, that's it. Everything else has the character of placebo. What is placebo? It is a dud given to the sick under the guise of medicine. Of course, this can help us grow and this can take us down. All of the other principles like hard work, like energy, being energetic, like extremely focusing, all come from these two basic principles. When you know these two, and then you absolutely implement this, you will have the energy, and then you can apply the third principle, which is focus. And you can do this in one of two ways, as many of the spiritual teachers discuss. You can do it generally, which is you can basically meditate, and we will oscillate between these two ways on any given day and on any given project. But in this channel, we specially emphasize the second modality. But the first modality is very easy and equally as effective. It just comes about more naturally.